Hey guys, happy Wednesday, hopefully. I'm hoping you guys are seeing this on Wednesday. So we are moving on with our McGoon's sign. McGoon, I really don't know what that means, but this is the sign. Is that his last name?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
It's
okay.
Glenn McGoon.
Glenn McGoon. Anyway, all right, so we're moving on with this. So this is the layout. So what we've done, we use rapid resizer. Oh, by the way, the board came out great. I'm absolutely just thrilled with it. Came out really good. It is, I think it's 34 and a half, about 33 and a half actually. And I trimmed up the edges. Now what I did on the edges, because it floated on me a little bit, what I did was I put a mark and I trimmed off one edge, and then because you know we don't have a square edge here to go with, so then I marked and made sure that it was exactly the same length, top and bottom, which it is. And then I drew another line and trimmed the end. So then I know that these are square to each other. So by doing that, then I could use this, figure out where my image was going to be top and bottom, drew a line just as far as this was, then I used my yardstick and extended it out. Then I know I've got a square line 90 degree to the ends. So then I know I'm good, you know, because we've got an odd shape. Anytime you got an odd shape like that, it becomes a little bit tricky, but I've kind of learned a few things over the years. Anyway, so these are my layouts. Vicky printed these out for me, and these are the size I need. We're going to put our lettering in here, but I'll do that afterwards. So what I did, these are both exactly the same size. I put them in place, and then I just drew on where the corners are, so that I've got registration lines of where I want it to be. Again, I centered it pretty much top to bottom. Now what we've got is we've got the actual freezer paper printed out. This again is freezer paper, and so these are exactly or pretty close within probably a 64th of the same size as my other pieces. So there's quite a bit of, what's the matter?
I just make sure you have tape. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of kind of, you know, calculating and figuring these out and cutting them and all that, but I think it's going to give me a pretty good layout. So if you guys haven't seen this process before, this is freezer paper. I should have brought that package. Freezer paper that I just buy on Amazon that works in an inkjet printer. This is not laser jet, this is inkjet printer, and it is, I really should have taped the bottom side. I'm going to tape both sides because I like to use my router bit depth gauge and kind of scrape from the bottom. Anyway, so it's freezer paper made by C. Jenkins, I think, and I've showed it before. And what I did on the paper itself, I'll put, you know what, I will put across the screen right now, I will put the videos that you can go watch where I did this prior, but this is pretty much the same. But we found by accident that if we coat the paper with some silicone spray
on the printable side,
on the shiny side, that's what you have to print on. Thank you for reminding me. On the shiny side, then it transfers a little bit better. Not that it didn't transfer before, but it transfers a little bit better if you've got something slick to add to that. And now I don't know if you guys can see it, but I can kind of see my print through the paper. Not great, but I can see it through the paper. And I have tried using wax paper, which someone suggested. I've tried using that, and I just couldn't get my printer not to jam it up. So I went back to my freezer paper method. Now some people like the laser jet and using using a medium like lacquer thinner or other things like that, but this freezer paper just process so far for me is my favorite. And let me scrape that a little bit better. I think I missed some in here. Let's see what that looks like. That's not too bad. It gets light in here because it's doubled up. But actually I got a pretty good line there. I'll fill that in a little bit better. What really is light is this down here, but I've got and that's the bottom of the pad the bear is walking on. It's a little bit light, but it prints really light too. See if I can get that to show up a little bit better.
You might have let that ink sit a little bit too long.
I think it came out all right. Yeah, that's plenty good enough for me to carve with. All right, you guys, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this same process with my other one. You guys don't need to see me do two of them. Then when we come back, we'll do the letter layout. All right, guys, I went and got the piece of paper. This is the freezer paper that I use, and it is C. Jenkins. So you can find that on Amazon. It's in our Amazon store if you want to go there. But yeah, it works really, really well. Originally, when I first started using freezer paper, we actually bought it at Walmart, and it was in a roll, and it was curled up, and it was a mess. But these sheets are well worth it. So, all right. So what I did was I decided to go ahead and do this spray layout of these letters off camera, but as I was spraying, I realized I messed up. If you look at that G, see how that G is, I always look at the perpendicular lines, and that G is just crooked. So I can't live with that. I could probably make the adjustment as I'm carving it, but see, this line should be, you know, absolutely left to right. Parallel. Yeah, parallel. That's the word. So anyway, I'm going to fix it, show you guys, you know, take the extra time. Your sign is always only going to look as good as your layout. So if you make a mistake, sand it off. Now I could use my disc sander and sand that, but I don't think I'm going to need to. I think I'll just, this is an old disc.
Obviously not one of the good ones.
No, not one of the good ones. These are one of the old Gator ones. Yeah. All right, would you hand me a paper towel, babe, please? Or the rolls right there on the shelf. Right there. Paper towel?
I was looking for a paper towel standing up.
Now this won't give me as good a line as I've got everywhere else, but it will certainly give me a better straight lines. So now, let's see if I can get it correct this time. I'm doing it upside down, which gets a little tricky as well. Does that look straight, babe? Oh, I've got cardboard. Yeah, I'm going to tape around it here. That looks pretty square, doesn't it?
I can't tell the camera's in the way.
Oh. I think it's better. Yeah, that's a little bit better. All right, so we are going to, I'm going to draw some lines on there, but it's time to start carving. I'm ready to make some sawdust. So we will meet you guys outside and we'll get to carving on this thing. Good morning, everyone. We are getting ready to carve, and a couple things I want to go over first. This is something that we used to do a long time ago when we were carving out of the plastic shed, is actually drape our cord, our power cord from up above. And I've been meaning to get to that. Well, I finally got it done. And this really, I know for you guys, hopefully it won't make a difference. But for me, it makes a huge difference because I've been carving for the last several years with that cord pointed toward me, and I have to constantly deal with this because I don't want it in the way of the camera. So for me, it's a big deal. So that's number one. Number two, I've got my artwork right beside me so I can see exactly what I'm going to carve. Although the first thing I'm going to carve is these letters, and let me show you why. I tried every way that I could not to have to carve letters or anything right in the middle of these knots, but we have two knots. This one's what really makes me nervous. It's right in the middle of the M. It won't matter overall because I'm gonna make these outset, and I think I'm gonna paint the letters some color. I'm not sure what yet. So I don't think it's gonna matter from that standpoint. But this is a knot that I put a lot of star bond in, and I just want to absolutely make sure it's solid. Then over here, you guys can't really see it, but this O is right in the middle of a knot as well. So that's the first thing I'm going to carve. And then if we end up with issues, I'll figure out how to deal with it. All right, so I've got the profile bit in, and I'm going to set it at now about 3/16, I think, something like that. I'm going to eyeball it. Yep, about 3/16, and put on my cheaters. Oh, that's much better. And let's get some lights on there. You ready, babe? Here we go. folks, well, that actually held up pretty well. I think I'm going to have a little bit more fill that I have to do here. In fact, I'm sure of it. But one thing I wanted to say is that when you're cutting something that you have used the Starbond glue, or probably any CA glue for that matter, be aware that when you route through it, it's you're going to smell it and smell it strong. Actually, when I was cutting this, not so much when I was cutting the AM, but when I was cutting this, it was strong enough it was actually kind of burning my eyes. So if you guys are sensitive to that kind of thing, you might want to think about a different kind of fill if that's something you're going to route through, or just be aware of that if you have eye sensitivity, or wearing a respirator is probably a good idea. Obviously, I don't do it very often. But anyway, just wanted you guys to be aware of that. All right, I'm going to keep cutting. Hey guys, all right, we are back. So that is going to be it for this video. I think we've got plenty of video on here. I don't want this thing to go really long. I'm kind of hoping that we can get it all wrapped up on the next video, which you guys will see, if all goes well, next Monday. But again, we're doing videos every day, so we're on, in case you guys don't know, I don't know if I've even mentioned this, we're on Facebook Live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 6 p.m. Arizona time, that's Pacific time. Yeah, and then, so that's at 6, and then on Saturday morning, we're on Facebook Live again, 9 a.m. Friday nights, just like normal, we're here, 6 p.m. here live on YouTube. So we're filming a lot. There's a lot of stuff out there. So you guys seem to like that, but give us feedback Any questions, anything I can answer for you, please let me know. Eric@makeawoodsign.com. And please give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, we'd love for you to subscribe and click that little bell icon so you get notified. So, gosh, I don't know. It seems like I'm forgetting something, but it's been a while since I did this. So, oh yeah, what I did here is I profiled everything. I went on the first cut, I went a little shallower on the 1-inch letters. These are 1 inch, these are 2 inch. And then you'll notice if you go back and watch, I'm kind of going backwards here. If you go back and watch, I made a second cut a little bit away from the letters on the 1 inch. That way when I go around and do the background with my 90 degree, I won't, hopefully I won't nick those outset letters. Anyway, all right, that's it. I should have described that before I did my closeout, but that's it, guys. We will see you guys soon. Bye-bye.